All right, guys. So here we are to talk about episode 3 of Iron Fist.
Yes, I forget everything about
this is the last episode of the season. Danny's dead.
He died. Kind of an abrupt ending. We waited for a post-credit thing, but there was nothing.
Yeah.
So, like, I think this is a bold move.
I like the choice
10
of making 10 episodes of just sheer blackness. Yeah,
I know.
I think that'll be good.
And the fake thumbnails. So, like,
yeah, no, I'm impressed.
It's there's a lot of commitment here that I think is a new.
Did you see who pushed him? I couldn't.
No, I was talking.
See.
I was joking about some shit or something. I didn't see it.
And was that the Asian lady?
But you can
Gao?
see stuff. I hope not. And I hope we find out.
I would actually love it if it was his little secretary guy.
Like fucking, I wrote him down as like Renfield does this or something like that at one point. I'm like, God damn it. That would be great if he's actually like does like a crack his neck thing and starts doing some shit. You're like,
I'm from the hand.
What the fuck? Yes, like really, like he's really on him.
When you find out in the Gargoyles cartoon that the little secretary guy he's had all along was Puck.
Yes.
You're like, like one of those.
I love that.
Yeah. All right. So
God.
what happens in this episode?
No. Hold on. the episode where like he dips his hand into the thing and it's like ding and it goes or something like that. It's the most badass thing ever. All right. Fuck. We just do like a whole thing about we just watch Gargoyles.
Yeah, we could do that.
I would love that.
That'll be our next
Xanatos
recap.
Gambit. Does it hold up all of Gargoyles?
Season 3 doesn't. But here we are to talk about Iron Fist.
Yep.
So in this episode, our boy Danny Rand is fed up. He's like, nope, you know what? He's like, I just wanted to be friends. I didn't care about the money. He goes, but you've insulted me time in, time out. You want to take my name away? You're fucking up my program. And here I am to take half your shit. In fact, 51%. I want housing.
He wants what he's entitled to. He wants a package. He's the heir to the Randy fortune.
Well, he is.
He is.
And
I can't fault him for this. It's totally fine.
Had they just acknowledged who he was in the beginning, he may not have wanted Dick. He's probably planning 15 years from now to go back to, Valhalla or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, I mean, the worst thing, honestly, would have been him like, wait, what are we doing? This isn't right. But how easy is it to hide what you're doing from some bumpkin from Seventh Heaven or whatever the fuck?
Yeah.
Just be like, whatever. And Colleen keeps going back and forth now, where I'm really not sure what's going on.
So the way that he ultimately proved who he was there's a fingerprint on a bowl he gave to Joy on her birthday. And I'm like, did Joy give him this bowl? Did you find that bowl? The bowl was in the house. She clearly noticed it as if this is out of place or this is evidence and either gave it to him or didn't.
We see the shot of her putting her keys in there, and one of us says out loud, "Why are we looking at this bowl? Why are we looking at this ashtray?" And then she comes back, and it's like, "Oh, he put that there." It's like a message of like, "Oh," and it's like, "Wait a minute, what the fuck?"
I joked that it was made in 3rd grade. How old are you in 3rd grade? Did it all check out? He was 10.
That's how old it looked. I don't know. It looked like exactly what it turned out to be, but wouldn't she have had to have sent it to the lady lawyer, Hrothgar?
And it's certainly possible she did because she's on, she's kind of not a bad person. She definitely swings into these I'm a bitch moments.
But that's the thing is, in the same episode, we go on this champagne-fueled trip to the hospital where she bribes Raj Patel with this kid's liver, which is like. And even Ward's shaking his head no, we're not doing this. And she's like, yes, we're doing this. So she's like...
But all her bad stuff is in front of Ward. When she's alone, she seems fine. So I think it's either keeping up appearances or some bullshit, or she's just a good actress in this show. I don't mean as an actress on the show, but in the show, her character, Joy, is an actress.
I feel like they're setting her up as Luke Cage did this too with the two cousin characters. Where it's like the dude's has the whatever, but he's really got all these problems, and the bitch is the stone cold bitch character.
Maybe.
I thought that's what they were doing, but then if she gave the bowl, I'm like, what is happening? And
and I'm sure we'll find that out.
Even post M&M's, she was still being a real no one wants you here, Danny, or whatever the fuck. I'm like, what the fuck?
But again, that was
just
only
sit
in
down
front
and
of
talk.
Ward.
I know that, but when they're not in front of him. No, because Danny came to visit her, and she's like, why don't you come inside? Here's paperwork to sign. She was like a stone cold bitch.
I don't know how cold that was, because that's all she invited him in. I don't know. Like, that's just, it's a forefront on her mind, because I think she's just, still afraid to lose everything. It's always funny to me. The people that have the most are afraid to lose anything. And I like, it's like, even if you were to lose some of the thing you didn't earn in the first place, you would still be so much richer than everyone else in the world. You're living in the guy's house, for God's sake. Like, cut him a fucking break.
And it might have just been fine, but I guess then we wouldn't have had a show.
Of course,
story. So I get that part or whatever.
So in Trend, we also forgot last episode to talk about how Colleen gets attacked by her students in seemingly an exercise where she's trying to teach them how to use this stuff in the real world when they often do 5-on-1s against females who are just trying to get home.
People. It was very weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
whenever you're mugging people that have a sword, like, what?
Yeah, we were joking, like, why does she have a sword? And it's like, uh-oh, the kids from the Foot Clan are coming after her, oh shit. And then it was like this whole, like, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, so...
Yeah, just thought we had to mention that because that was very weird and
It ties in with some stuff in this episode, because at one point Danny, takes over the class and is trying to show the kids what's up because they're being very disrespectful.
Yes.
And then he, hits one of them, and she's all like, dude, these are wayward youths, and I'm trying to help them, and this is supposed to be their sanctuary where they don't get bullied, and you just fucking bullied them.
I think a little discipline though would not hurt them.
Totally, they totally need that. They were totally disrespectful.
See, he eventually will become a teacher in this school. That's 100% a given. I can't see another world where that doesn't happen.
Do you think he leads these kids in some horrible battle against something?
No. This isn't Buffy the Vampire Slayer. This is This is grounded in reality.
I would not want that
There might be something where that red belt who was teaching the class periodically, who also had the cut under his eye from that fight, I think he might die in something where, they come to get Colleen. No, I think they're going to come to get Colleen or something, and he's going to be there, hang on, and or be the only one there or something. Just, usually, someone innocent dying sparks something good, and I think
every Jackie Chan movie, we used to be like, Uncle Whoever's got to die, because Jackie's got to go. So that kid going to these fights or whatever the fuck, and we see Colleen go into the fights.
She goes.
I thought initially, and I said this while we were watching it, I was thinking that she was there because he'd be there that night or something weird like that. But she was just there to fight, and I wrote down Colleen versus the Mountain gets paid.
Yeah,
that was my
it seemed like it could have been one of those things. I have to infiltrate to take down this organization. I can't let my students become part of this world. Blah 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 blah. And then I was like, nah, man, I gotta get mine.
Skrilla. Yeah, and she took this dude out. It was great.
Yeah, just
yeah, it looked like she was
the fucking face.
There was some cool stuff. She grabs his hand and is going for the finger. I always like that because whether or not you care about female empowerment, he was totally out of her weight class, and it was a total
he was
joke.
He was probably like 270, and she's 1.
I know, it's fucking shit, but to go for fingers and she does the leopard punch thing, but she's going for nerve cluster areas, and I was like, okay, this is because she actually hits him wide, just across the abdomen, and he kind of is what the fuck are you doing?
Well, yeah,
which is awesome
because
he has he has 2 inches of muscle to padding him out where she's not able to hit.
Well, then she went for the arm bar, and I was like, he might be strong enough to just get out of that, but then he just bit her, which they said in the beginning would get him kicked out.
They set that up, I know.
He didn't get kicked out, which made me a little angry because I thought that would have been great. It looked she could have lost, but he disqualified.
Exactly.
But that didn't happen.
No, it was weird that they set up the biting just to have that be because he said no biting or else I'm gonna 86 you out of here, and then he bites and nothing happens, and it's kind of what, man, I don't know.
Well, you would tell him he's kicked out,
Exactly. We'll tell him later when he's calmed down. Yeah, that's cool.
I can't imagine how much money she would have made off that, though, because, no one was betting on her.
Yeah, and there wasn't enough time to really sink in with, the whole odds and, all the things, and, they usually pay more to that in, this
It should have been 5 bazillion to 1.
Yes, totally.
Yeah.
That was a good roll of cash or something like that.
Yeah, assuming that was all hundreds, that's 10 grand maybe.
So now she can pay the rent, and this is.
Yeah.
Do you think this? Well, no. He said, "I don't know where you came from." I was gonna say,
"You're welcome back anytime, though, kid."
Yeah, I was gonna say, "What's your name, kid? Man Spider? That sucks." No, I was gonna say,
Daughter of the Dragon. How about we call you the fuck?
I was gonna say, do you think this has been her dark secret all along?
Like she's always been fighting?
To try to make money extra on the side.
No, because he didn't know where she was.
That's what I was just saying. So he just said, I don't know where you came from, so that implies she hasn't
And had she been fighting, the kid would have been like, but Sensei, you just told me I bring no honor to myself for fighting for money, and I seen you there.
It would be a dark secret where she goes and fights, but he doesn't know, and that's why she doesn't want him there, because she might see him there. And all. Anyway, It's good times. We talked about the fucking thing with the lawyering.
I love this lawyer cameo from
Trinity.
Yeah.
I don't know her name.
Like Maholigan or something. He said her name. He's like, I got blah blah now. And we're like, the lawyer.
Her character's name is like Hrothgar.
Hrothgar, that's it. Hrothgar the Mighty.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I turned it into a Thor character in my head, but her name is actually.
Now she's great. I love her. I like that he's like this vicious lawyer in his corner. That's gonna win. Definitely gonna win in episode 12.
That's the final boss is not Harold Meacham. It's actually the judge at the courtroom, and they just go ruling in your favor, and you go, aye, and that's it. And he's just like has his glowing fist, like, yes, we did.
Well,
this.
like for all we know, Ward's dad's already dead, but he'll probably die. Yeah. Ward might die, and then it could be like him and Joy ruling this company together, like. Living in their old house, having a good time, partying.
And they're not related. We made a joke like, just get married. What are you doing? Or something like that. Whatever the fuck. Let's talk more about Harold and Ward, right? So it is revealed Gao is around. Yes. The thing on Harold's window. He is a prisoner there. The hand does have him under their thumb.
Yeah, they said if he leaves, they're gonna kill his family.
Yeah.
Which he seemingly cares about.
I'm not sure why that would be the stipulation or what.
I would wager they'll kill him also.
Or like why they have this arrangement with him. We'll find out. So I'm not gonna spend too much time on how we don't know. She makes him kneel.
No sense in speculating.
Well, we're gonna
get surprised. Drops his glass. They somehow kidnap his trainer.
I was gonna say though, it's weird that the trainer was still not even there. I assumed when the lights came back on, the trainer would be dead. And then he would have this burden of like having to clean up this murder, and that's extra like message against, hey, don't fuck with us.
Yeah.
Where'd you go? Why'd you go? You can't leave.
It was like a Ninja Turtles Bell scenario. They just came in all silent and just jacked shit up.
So like
he didn't actually drop his cup. They went fink and dropped it out of his hand. Nah, it didn't happen.
They go back black and white slow mo.
I would love that.
10 ninjas doing stuff, controlling them like a puppet. Black suits.
Oh yeah.
All right, let me just plow through these things here. Anything else come to mind
for
you?
Danny, he as they're leaving the lawyer's office, he hears Ward on the phone, and he assumes he's talking to the father because he looks at the picture of the father. He's like, he looked exactly the same as I just saw him. I haven't seen him in so many years. Like, he wouldn't have looked, I guess, how I remember him, because that makes sense.
That's how
you wouldn't age him in your head.
Totes.
So he hears, he's like, all right, I'll come see you. He follows Ward. That's where he gets to his place. He can get only so high because there's, like, the handprint scanner. He climbs on the outside, and that's where we started joking this show's over because he gets pushed, like, right from the window.
And is falling.
Do you think Holdorf will carry him around the rest of the series because
he's broken both of his legs?
Yeah.
I mean, I wish. No, I assume. I mean, he's just gonna it's just gonna open up with him going, huh! Or like iron fisting and like grabbing the side would be cool. But I don't know if they'll do that.
Like iron fisting, dragging through the stone.
Like that fucking thing, yeah. When someone's really strong or whatever.
I can see it.
I've had time to check through.
Did anything else happen this episode that we should
I'm
be
interested
mentioning?
with Harold and what he's all about. He is training in the ways of like the dude from Vaughn from fucking iZombie or whatever.
Sure.
As a personal trainer, there's like weights around. He sleeps in a glass coffin.
I'm interested in knowing what that is. That's something definitely to preserve him or whatever.
In the first episode, he's like drinking from like a green like kale smoothie thing.
Yeah.
In this episode, there's all these like not prescription but like medicines type bottles,
like
and he's
eye
making
droppers
a cocktail and doing stuff. Yeah. So something's up. He's either trying to make up for something that is a problem that he has, or he's trying to make himself better and like preserve, last longer. What was that dude's name?
Sleeping in Tupperware does make you last longer, I'm sure.
Well, because there might be extra like oxygen in there, some sort of chamber that he has to be in to like recover his thing.
Hey, he could have cancer. Who knows?
I think it's a window into maybe how he might be superpowered and like present a. I'm still now whenever I watch one of these shows, I'm like, who's the final boss? Who we're gonna fight in the last episode? And he's he's the most likely candidate right now. I'm sure they'll introduce some other people or something like that. But the glass coffin, very interesting. Not sure what the fuck's going on.
My only thought is he can't be that powerful just because he willingly knelt on glass and it did cut him. So
I took a special note of how he was like bandaged still because I'm like, okay, that chamber is not does not heal him or whatever.
Yeah.
Like all these fucking things, and it might turn out to be nothing, but it they're going to all these lengths to show us these things. So I feel
no,
like
of course
something's gonna happen or whatever.
And it could very well just be, nah, he's a crazy rich person. They sleep in airtight, hermetically sealed coffins.
It might just be what rich people do. I don't know how the other half lives. How the other 1% of the other
That's
half
that 1%.
lives. Colleen and Danny do some cool kung fu fighting right when
Yeah.
she's like, why are you not gone? And he's like, I'm worried about you.
Why are you not only not gone, but you're blasting hip hop?
Yep.
What's happening?
This is how I meditate.
told you there's a guy sweeping.
There's a whole thing.
Like, what the fuck? So,
and they had the whole, like, I call it, like, sexy fighting. Where they fight and there's, like, hair in her face and they're breathing and he's, like, really close and all this fighting and all that
and
stuff.
you find out
It's
how
awesome.
superior in fighting he actually is. Granted, she didn't have her sword, but I don't think it would have helped her that much.
And he didn't only school her, but he schooled her. He kept saying, like, no,
like,
you're focusing on external force. You need internal force. And she's like, shut up, stop it, what are you doing? It was awesome.
And then kicks him out.
And I love any sort of fighting. So, like, I kind of poo-pooed the whole martial artist thing earlier or something like that, but I really do like the kind of fighting that he's sort of doing, the kung fu-ish sort of fighting, where you move 2 inches to, like, the left, and then the guy misses his punch.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you're doing very small, smooth movements, and, like, other people are doing very big, like, herky-jerky and, like, stumbling and punching and overextending and all that stuff. And you're doing this very tight thing. It's very cool.
I enjoy it. And she did a thing, like, kind of like this when
to
fighting
the
the giant guy, and I like that he's like, this is no Mayweather bullshit. And then she gets him, and I was like, ha!
No, it's great, because that's the kind of cool thing that, anytime a fight is, like, asymmetrical, where, like, one person's doing, like, drunken monkey style, and the other person is
well, because there's too much
like,
nowadays where it's like, I hit you, hit me, I hit you, hit me, and, like, it's like a power struggle fight, and I'm like, all right, whatever.
Well, and, like, why should everyone know kung fu the same way? That's like that's like two wizards where, like, my beam is red and your beam is blue, and, like, the beams are hitting and they go back and forth, and then one of us goes and, like, dies or whatever, right? It's much cooler when, like, one person's a, like, shapeshifter and one person has, like, weird claws and they're fighting and doing all the different fights and all that stuff. So that part's cool. Last thing, the X-ray hunt, where he goes to the hospital's, like, record-keeping room, and I thought it was really BS how he went there exactly when the guy was there to, like, torch the place.
Yeah.
Because the lawyer was like, everything's gone. They like cleaned up their trail, which I would have assumed happened like years ago. Why is this just happening now?
I didn't assume it happened years ago. I would assume it all happened
like that day.
No, since when he came back.
Yeah.
I would picture that day. So like he's had a week to do this.
That's what I mean. Right. So why is it on the
kill all these blah blah blahs and then like it's not totally impractical.
It's
that
not
he could have
the
been
worst.
like, oh, I remember you broke your arm that time. We didn't go to a hospital. We went to that clinic on 3rd Street. They might have their own private blah blahs. I don't think he even went to torch the records. I think he went to steal it, and then because he was caught off guard, he
decided to torch him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world, but it felt very convenient that, like, he would interrupt the guy or whatever.
Certainly was.
It's fine, but it just made me go like, oh. But we got some cool iron fisting during that scene.
Yeah, he shattered a guy's, like,
he did
like combat brass knuckles that had, like, spikes on them.
Yeah. At first, it was weird because that guy got the drop on him, and I'm like, what the fuck? You are the immortal Iron Fist. Fucking get up. What are you doing? This sucks. But then, and, like,
he has no spidey sense.
I thought it was cool that he fought fist with fist and didn't actually just try to do something else, and then he actually punched the guy's fist, and you saw the whole like, well, because
it would be as if he hit a wall and brass knuckles broke around his fingers. That ruined you.
Totes.
All right, guys. So let's check out the next episode, and we will see you with episode 4.